Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Saturday today. It's a bit of a cloudy, hazy day here on the West Coast. We've had some cold weather for us, not cold for many of you who live, in the interior and on the prairie provinces. But for us, when it gets down -3, -5, -8 Celsius, it's cold. We're kind of wimpy when it comes to that. But so today, I know that some of you that usually watch me are enjoying the Creativity Abound Stamp Camp. We've been online since 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, about every couple of hours. So I did my live at 8 o'clock this morning. And so we're kind of carrying on, but I thought I would jump on and go live anyway, because there's lots of you that aren't participating. But if you want to hear about Creativity Abound Stamp Camps, just reach out. I can, yeah, we have another one coming up in July. And no matter where you are in the world, you have the opportunity to participate because we have demonstrators in all markets. So let's see. Today I'm going to do the paper pumpkin kit. Once a month, I get so excited when my paper pumpkin kit arrives on my doorstep. And we were just chatting about this morning. It's a nice way to I don't have to think. I can just create without worrying about whether this is going to be, is this the right theme? Do I have the right colors? What am I trying to show? There we go. Pam, I know you're on the stamp camp too. And so this is just a really nice way to create some projects. So this is all about Easter, this one. It's called Celebrate Spring, but it's definitely got an Easter feel to it. So I'm going to make the 3 cards and then I'm going to show you an alternative project that I came up with. And I'm just trying to see if I've got comments. Oh, very difficult to keep up with different screens here. Okay, let me switch over to my desktop. So I've opened the box because of course I made an alternative project. And so I've done what I typically do when I get my paper pumpkin or any kit collection kit, is I go through and make sure I kind of get everything organized. So in this one, look at this lovely pretty and pink twine. The ink spot is Shy Shamrock this time. You get some glue dots. So these are the glue dots that come in the kits, and then some mini dimensionals. There are some embellishments somewhere in here. You have this kit makes 9 cards, 3 of 3 designs. So these are the envelopes. It coordinates with the Easter Joy Suite, which is in the January to April catalog. So some really pretty envelopes. Oh, there's the embellishments. So some sequins. Get those out. I need those. And then I've got everything separated into each of the cards so that I don't have to do that when I go to make the cards. So if I was going to make all 3 of the cards, I would put everything I need together in a pile. So I've got it. In the kit as well are all the stamps. So in this case there are 6 stamps. I've got them all on blocks, and so you get this sheet that you can keep track of them once you're done, because of course when you're finished you have the ink spot and the stamps left. And if you're one of my paper pumpkin subscribers, I send you a tutorial with everything, with a whole bunch of other projects that you can make just using the ink stamp and the ink spot and the stamps. All right, so you always need the instructions. Yeah, I love these colors too. They're just so Eastery. So you make 3 cards, 3 designs. So we're going to go through and make these cards just exactly as they're designed, and then I'll show you an alternative. So the first thing, when I go to kind of put everything together, I look at this page which tells you everything you need for all of the stamps. So if you're going to kind of accumulate everything, go to this page. And then you could actually separate them and put them into little envelopes if you wanted to, or into the envelope, and then make them as you have a chance. Okay, let's make this cute one with the bunny. Now, the other thing about these is if you're not really into, this one's a bit hard because it's definitely got that Easter feel to it, but you can just use the card bases and other things in it without using everything that goes with it. So this is a very pale lemon lolly card base. And then we've got this sheet. Now it says to use, okay, it says to use mini dimensionals. I'm going to use my regular dimensionals. I find the minis, I have a hard time with getting them with my fingers for some reason. So if I can, I prefer to use the regular size dimensionals. So we're going to put this on with dimensionals. These are so cute. I was just looking, I have a blog hop coming up that the theme is let's do the bunny hop, which I think is very cute. All right, so that goes on like that. And then, oh, actually it says to use glue dots. Okay, so I'm not even reading this right. So if you look at the instructions, if it's got a little tiny dot, it's a glue dot, and if it's got the little hexagon, it's the dimensionals. I misread that, but that's okay. It's my card. I can do with it what I want. So I've got it on. Using dimensionals, and then we're going to put some more dimensionals on this lovely floral frame, which I'll show you as soon as I pull off these backs. Look how pretty that is. So this is just going to go on like that. And the bunny has dimensionals as well. And if you follow the instructions, it actually shows you where to put the dimensionals or the glue dots. So they're just, actually I'm just going to put it, yeah, it needs to go up a little bit because the label's going to go over top of it. We're going to do just a little bit of stamping. I just got my regular ink pad, and we're going to stamp the polka dot Easter egg like that using Shy Shamrock. Oh, and we might as well stamp the Happy Easter. I love this Happy Easter stamp. It's curved like the it's kind of hard to see on this. With the Shy Shamrock, it's curved, which is kind of cool. All right, and so we need to put, oh, just dimensionals, just glue dots. So let's use these glue dots. So this is just going to go across like that. And put a dimensional on my Easter egg. That's why I love doing these, because my bunny is, let's put you down a little bit further. There we go. And then this just goes in behind like that. And we need to tie a little bow. So it actually even tells you the length of twine to use for your bow. If you look at the instructions, you usually have some left over. I like the fact that they don't gyp you. They give you a nice amount of twine to use, as opposed to telling you to cut it too short, and then you get frustrated I'm just going to kind of squish my bow, or squish my glue dot into a little ball, and then that goes on. Yes, and so that you don't get frustrated trying to tie a bow if it's too short. There we go. All right, and some embellishments. Oh, it tells us to use 5 embellishments. They're 2 different colors. One's kind of an orangey color, orangey pinky, and one's kind of clear or pinky color. So sometimes it's hard to, it doesn't matter where you put them. I'm just looking to see where they put them in. I can only see 2 on here, but I'm sure there's more because they tell you to use 3 of them. So we will just put, or they tell you to use 5 of them. So we will just put them on. There we go. That's the first card. Isn't he cute? He's just so adorable. Like I said, this coordinates with the Easter Joy suite that's in the catalog. Sometimes I have a really hard time figuring out which is my favorite, but I have to say, I think this one is my favorite. It's simple, and I think that that's what I really like about it. So we're using not a lot of bits to this card. So we're using this card base that's got the frame all organized for you with the pretty flowers around it. And we're going to stamp on this label the sentiment that says Sweet Spring Greetings. So this one's definitely not Easter, which is nice. We don't send Easter cards. Nice. Is that the only stamping? Yep. All right, so this is going to go on with dimensionals. Like I said, you can do this however you want. You can use dimensionals, or you can use glue dots, or use your own liquid glue, stamp and seal, tear and tape, whatever you want. All right, so now, oopsie, just about put that one on, upside down, sideways. All right, so that goes in the middle, and then we've got 3 of these pretty little pink flowers and 3 of the stems. Now I think these ones I do need the mini dimensionals. So I use my take your pick tool because like I said, I have a hard time with the minis because I don't know, my fingers just don't seem to want to pick them up very easily. Oop. Now it says to put 2 on, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I need 2. I got 2 on the flowers. All right, let's figure out where the flowers go. So the stems look like they go kind of underneath here like that. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think I only pulled 3 out. That's why I had so many left over. Yeah. All right, I need to find another stem. Let's look for a stem. There we go. I wondered why I had so many stems. Often there's extras in the kit, but the number that was left seemed to be more than normal. So that's why you need 4. Like that. And then we're just going to take and put these flowers. Try not to cover your sentiment up. I just really like the way this kind of frames, these flowers frame the card. Just like that. And then of course, some embellishments. And you can put these wherever you want. You could put them on the centers of the flowers if you wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I always have to have an odd number. Let's do that. There we go. I just really think that's a pretty little card. Okay. Now the last card that we're going to make, this one's pretty too. This is definitely Easter with the Easter basket. So you need one of these balmy blue card bases. So these kits are great if you want to, say, invite your friends over to just do some stamping with you. You know, if you just pull the kits apart and put them in the envelopes, and then everybody can just choose an envelope and make a card. Now we're going to use the grass. So there's a grass stamp, and we're going to do some stamping, So I think we stamp the grass 3 times along the bottom like that. Ta-da! And then we're gonna do this little tag. So this is a die cut tag, and we're gonna stamp "Hello, friend." So I don't know about you, but I've been hooked with the Olympics, which is over as of tomorrow. But I've been watching, of course, watching curling, being Canadian, and I love curling, and hockey, of course. So yeah, it's been fun. I don't know about you, but it's been fun to watch the curling. All right, we're gonna put this Easter basket on using dimensionals. I think these dimensionals are, oh, no, they're too big, so let's go to the little ones again. So yeah, if you, like I said, if you are one of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, I send you an extra tutorial. If you're not one of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, if you're interested in checking out what Paper Pumpkin's about, I would send you the extra tutorial every month where you get some bonus projects, which is fun to do. All right, and then we need, I think I'm supposed to use glue dots on that, but I'm going to pop my little tag up, and then glue dots. That was probably supposed to go behind, but that's okay. I think I can manage to tuck it behind. Oopsie. It's hard to get tucked behind, so maybe you do put that on ahead of time. With the glue dots want to stick. There we go. Nice Easter basket. And then we've got one Easter egg that we're going to stamp using this pretty Easter egg with the flowers. So we can, that has dimensionals. Don't think you need 2 dimensionals, but I'm using that. So that's just going to go on top of this one, like that. And then we're going to use some dimensionals and glue dots on these flowers. Or maybe we'll use all dimensionals. Okay, these big flowers, there's going to be one going there, like that, and one on there. This may take extra postage if you're in Canada. The more dimensionals you put on your cards or projects, sometimes it takes extra postage to mail, which is never a good thing. And that one can go behind like that. And then these 2 go down like that. So that's probably why they're supposed to be dimensional, but that's okay. How pretty is that card? And then some twine. Oh, this one's 10 inches. This is supposed to be a big bow. I'm not sure why you need 10 inches, but I guess I'm not going to make it as big as theirs is. There we go. I really like this pretty and pink twine. Oops. Cut, come on. Caught my loop on my glue dot. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Now it's caught on my finger. All right, here we go. And that just goes on like that. And then of course, let's trim those because those are way, 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 way too long. Yes, they are very cute. There. Oh, embellishments. Gotta put some of them on. Now I think I'm gonna put some on the center of some of these flowers because I just think there. That's a very pretty card. I may change my mind on which is my favorite. Okay, so those are all the cards that come in the kit, but let me show you an alternative that I designed. I will say that if you do this alternative, you will not have a card base, because I cut one of the card bases in half. So if you made this is a Joyfold card, and if you made this Joyfold card, it takes 1.5 of the Lemon Lolly card bases. So you won't have enough to make 2 cards. The other ones would be fine. So you make 3 cards of the other ones. All right, so this is a Joyfold card, and it's using some of the supplies, most of the supplies from the kit. The only thing that I added some Lemon Lolly. It's really hard to see, but I thought this was very plain, and so I stamped this with Lemon Lolly Easter eggs. And then this is the paper. This is the Easter Joy Specialty Designer Series paper that I thought was very pretty as a background. So let me show you how easy it was to make a Joyfold card from the supplies. So like I said, I started out with one of the Lemon Lolly card bases. Oopsie. And so this is 8.5 by 5.5, and so I'm going to cut, I think I cut 2 1/8 inch off. That's half of this card front off. So now you got this piece and this piece. This can be used for something else, save it, and then you've got a card base. And then I took another one of the card bases and cut it in half. So I basically took this card base, and before I chopped off a full one, I cut it in half this way. And so you end up with a mini card, and we're going to trim this to be 3 inches wide. Like I said, it's really easy just to take the stuff that's in these kits and make your own projects with them, if you decide you not really taken with the projects. All right, so that's going to be my mini card base, and then here is my full card base, or my main card base. And I cut this piece of Designer Series paper to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now, one thing, this paper is very thick. It's glossy and thick. It's quite different than our normal Designer Series paper. And so you do want to make sure you get fairly close to the edge, because I find that it curls a little bit. And so you do want to make sure you've glued it down. And so maybe using something like tear and tape and being able to get a little closer to the edges will work. So this second small card base, so this is the main card base. The fold and score is on the left hand side. So you're going to take this one, turn it so that the score is on the right hand side, and it opens opposite to what we usually think. And you're going to take and glue this, and basically you can just take and glue it roughly in the middle of the inside of the card. Oops, that wiggled. Is it straight? There we go. It's closer. And so when it closes, you now have, still not straight. There we go. That's better. You have this little tiny card that opens like this. So we're going to take and use that same Happy Easter, the curvy Happy Easter, and stamp in the inside of our card. And now we're going to decorate. Oh, and we might as well stamp the Hello Friend while we've got the ink pad open. So we're going to use one of those little tags. So again, if you do these alternative projects, you won't have enough to make all of the cards plus the alternatives, unless I didn't count to see if they gave you extra. Sometimes they give you extra labels. Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to put this Easter basket, and we're going to just tuck these Easter eggs. So I'm going to just use a little bit of glue behind there, and we're going to just adhere those Easter eggs on and try not to get ink on your fingers. And then we're going to take and adhere the bunny. So when you put the bunny, I kind of tuck the bunny ears up so he's up and over the handle of the basket, and then you can just use a dimensional to hold the bunny in place. You really are. I only I only adhered the bottom of the basket, so you have to watch a little bit to make sure that the only place, and I did it wrong, watch so that your dimensionals are not too far down, because you only want them to be adhered to the smaller card base. So I'm just going to put 4 right in the center, and that way, there we go, that's better. And so we'll put our bunny in the center of the card, and then you can either put your twine through the tag, the little hole in the tag, or you can just take and tie a bow. If you want to, you could tie a double bow. So I took 2 strands. Oh, this is what I say, don't cheat yourself. Don't make it hard to tie a bow, because like I just did. Your thumbs get in the way. Can I grab both of those strands over there? Yay! Oof, no, I didn't. This is where you say, do as I say, not as I do. That's my mother used to say that to me all the time. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. Phew. All right. Yeah, I got a little chintzy with the twine, so don't do that. And then we'll take a glue dot. And put that on like that. And then of course we have to have some of these embellishments. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? Okay, we'll do that. I haven't stamped my Easter eggs on. I just think that the left side of this card is a little plain. So let me grab my lemon lolly and let me clean off my stamp and have a scrap piece of paper, because I'm going to stamp off. I don't want this to be really bright. Oof. Okay, so I'm going to ink up using the lemon lolly, stamp off, and then I'm going to just randomly, it's very faint, stamp these Easter eggs. Just have a little bit of texture on this card front. And I didn't use Shy Shamrock because I didn't want it to be really bright. I just wanted just a little bit of texture. So there you go. You can kind of just kind of see my Easter eggs, and now I can take and put a couple of those sequins on there. So there we go. There is a Joy Fold card alternative project. So let me just bring in the other cards and the envelopes to show you. Oh, you can see part of my messy desk. So there's my alternatives, my Easter Joy alternatives, and we've got this sweet spring greetings, and then this one that I now that I've made it, I think is my favorite, and then the adorable little bunny that goes with my bunnies, and then of course you've got these cute envelopes, these pretty envelopes with the pink pattern. There we go. Lots of ideas. Thanks, Pam. All right, so thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you aren't a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, maybe I've inspired you to subscribe. You can do month to month. or you can do prepaid subscriptions where you do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Yeah, my kit just arrived this week as well. So depending on if you just want to try it, I'd say the 3-month is the best way to try it. You get a little bit of a break on the price, and it gives you 3 months to try. You can always put, what do they call it? Put it on hold, suspend it, something like that. So you can do that 1 month at a time. You can't do it, say, I'm going to suspend it for the next 3 months, but you can say, I don't want, for example, the March kit. So if you decide you want to try it and you want the March kit, you have until, well, always, you have until the 10th of each month to subscribe or to put your kit on hold so that you don't get that particular month. So the cutoff is the 10th of each month, and then it arrives. They ship it around the 13th of the month, and then depending on where you live, how long it takes. Mine just arrived this week, so took about 8 days for it to get to me. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, I will be live again tomorrow at 12 noon, so come join me and we'll make a project together. Thanks for joining.